My name is Lisa Congdon. I'm an illustrator, a painter, and a collage artist, and I live and work in Portland, Oregon. I have not always seen myself as an artist. In fact, if you went back and asked my parents, like when I was a little kid, which of their children was most likely to become an artist, there are three of us. I would have been the third choice. I was sort of a tomboy, played outside a lot, not interested in art, never took an art class, even in high school. And then when I was in my 20s, I was in a relationship with someone who was an artist, and she made her living as a graphic designer. Being in that relationship was my introduction to art. Interestingly, when we broke up, I started taking art classes and, in the privacy of my own apartment, drawing and painting and making collage, and kind of fell in love with the process. My style is really like flat and graphic. And it's interesting because if you look at my older work, it very much, was something very different. I think when I started drawing and painting, I really wanted to learn to draw more realistically. I realized that what I was drawn to or more attracted to was like folk art and art from the mid-century. And I really wanted to kind of hone my style to be more reflective of those passions. My work often centers around themes of inclusion, liberation, mental health, social justice. Those are all things that I care deeply about. My work is really about like the lessons that I've learned in life and like how I've learned to show up as a person who has like a certain level of like radical joy, in the face of darkness. I came into art making at a time in my life when I was like at a low point, and I was, had been through a lot of pain and sort of moved through that pain making art, and really came to see the act of creating as super joyful. I remember like when I left my job to make art full time, I had this vision of myself like sitting at my work table and like drinking tea and painting and listening to NPR and just like feeling really relaxed and blissed out all of the time. And I realized like that was a total fantasy, right? Like the reality of needing to like hustle and get work and, make a living can often take a lot of the joy out of the art making process. I have so many things that I've learned in the last 20 years, but I think one of the most profound things is I wish I understood early on how important it is to be a whole person. I think for those of us who have like discovered art, whether it was when we were a kid or in my case, like later in life, oh my God, like I get to do this thing and I love doing this thing and I'm getting really good at doing this thing and now I'm making money doing this thing and like, it becomes your whole world. And that sort of the passion and like motivation we feel to create and put it out into the world is really powerful and it's amazing. But creativity requires energy. And if you are constantly pouring yourself into whatever your, creative thing is, you'll burn out. and it's important to have other things besides your creative practice, both so that your creativity has time to like ferment and so that you can refuel. Also understand that like your art is not everything. Like there's so many other things in life. And that's something I wish I knew earlier on. We live in a world where, especially now, that we're just constantly being consciously and unconsciously given messages that we need to conform. I know that when I was, first immersed into the world of art, I started seeing everything differently. Think about like there's a million ways to draw a sun. So something as simple as like understanding that there are just infinite different ways to see the world. And at least as an artist, like I feel like my work connects me to other people. And I never would have thought, before I had ever made art that was vulnerable or that like took a stand on something, that sharing it would actually create such connection. A lot of times we go through life thinking that like we're the only person in the world who is feeling a particular way or worried about a particular thing or struggles with a particular, demon. And I might have just been scared to do it because I thought no one's going to relate to this or people are going to disagree. And the opposite happened. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that art is so important, right? We get all of these messages around, this is the right way to do this, or this is how, you should show up or exist in the world. And art reminds us that there are infinite ways to be a human being.